Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another game. This time I'm going to duel Guess Who, Tommynt, and this is going to be ancient duel on continents. Usual rules: no Great Wall, no fate from desert and tundra, no +4 fate from wonder, and no +1 happiness per city as a founder religion. So we are playing as USA. So let's check my starting location. I really am not a fan of my starting location. Okay, I see wheat, and only wheat. I see some hills in the back. I see a river, though I'm kind of reluctant on going into a river. The reason for that is I don't see anything useful on the right side. So if I remember correctly, I'm just going to go to the left side to plant on the desert. So I will have a chance. First of all, I'm hoping there's something in the back, and for the second, I'm just it's going to be a good Petra city spot. I mean, all those desert tiles will make good tiles later on if I manage to snatch Petra, of course. General plan for this game, I believe, is, since this is continents and I have already been beaten on continents map several times by Tommy, so general plan is going to be tradition opener. In my previous game I went tradition opener as well, but I kind of messed up the beginning, so I'm going to try to improve the opening this time, though I believe Tommy is making some other opening that I'm going to work on. But general plan is go to population 4, build 2 settlers, then make a national college, and then plant cities. I mean, move the settlers to the exact spot where I'm going to plant the city, build national college, and then pop cities. At least that's the general plan. How it will work out, you shall see. So I'm scouting with my warrior, and of course, as usual, I probably should have moved. If I moved my capital to the river, I would get salt, I would get deer, I would get 1 fish resource, and I could get those 2 hills in the back. But hey, I most of the time I'm just unlucky with choosing my capital spot in those games. I'm kind of like thinking, what would the opponent do? And I'm like, Tommy will go on a hill, and Tommy will go on a spot that has the most production. So I'm like looking at my starting position, and I see like forest, wheat, no production. Oh my goodness, again no production. But to be honest, whatever I do, I always kind of mess up the start. Tommy is very powerful. You guys probably know him if you check the Fanatics forum. You probably know him from single player videos and stuff like that. So he's like a crazy single player. So he basically uses all that experience on a map like this. Since continents map, you are basically, it's almost like a single player until you get, for example, optics or some ships. And even if you get ships, there's always a chance that you are not connected by the coast. So most of the times you are spread away by ocean. So until astronomy, you're basically safe. You can echo all you want, and at that, like, Tommy is excellent. So as you can see, my beginning is very slow. I have no flow, and I dropped actually. I dropped several times during this game, but reloaded like. Okay, we're back. Oh, I think I just missed a turn. And even more turns. If I believe correctly, I just forgot about putting record on. Sorry. So I'm at pop 3. I scouted the north. There's not that much, but thankfully I got salt in my capital after all. So I went tradition opener. As I said, I'm just planning to go population 4, make settlers, or first actually make a library, then make settlers. In the meantime, take to National College, and then with those settlers, just move those settlers to the right city spots and then plant them. If I believe correctly, Tommy already is making settler, but we shall see about that. So what do we have in our land? Well, if I was thinking about planting a city on the desert hill on the right side. It's going to have those 2 deers sooner or later. It's going to have the silver, the 2 fish, and some hills, marble later on, some forests. So it's going to be a pretty good spot. I'm gonna leave. I mean, I was thinking about planting the river, but then I saw this land and I'm thinking, I have quite a lot of land to cover, and for city tradition will not let me plant. I mean, will not let me use all the land. So I'm thinking where to plant exactly the best city spots that I think will be useful. And I figure out that I want to plant 5 cities later on. You shall see on the left side when my warrior is going to finish when my warrior is going to finish scouting, that I got 2 hills and a mountain in the south, and basically that's all. So I got a spots. I mean, 5 pretty good. I mean, 3 very good city spots and 2 mediocre city spots. So New York, if I get Petra, it's actually quite nice. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 hills, 5 hills even, salt, wheat, 2 deer, and not bad food. If I get Petra, I'll get even extra food because I'm gonna get that wheat on desert, which with Petra is whoa, my goodness, like shivers. Petra is so strong, Wonder. So another city you here between the silver and the wheat on the river, so I can work all the land available here from the marble, those forests, those hills and silver. 1 city on the marble. The reason I really want to put the city on marble, since this passage is only 1 tile, so I really want to put a city on the marble, on the ship, or on the grassland, so I will be able to move my ships from south to north. I think I planted the city. Oh, we shall see where I plant, but I believe I will plant on marble, since I want to plant another city on the river, so that's 3 tiles. I either plant sheep or I either plant marble. And sheep is like a waste of a good sheep. And marble is the best choice. I will not have to improve the resource right away, and I will lack workers when I'm gonna plant the cities. So I believe the marble, it's going to be the marble. So the desert on the right side of my capital, yeah, he's already ahead because he planted the second city pretty early, and I'm doing the opposite way. I'm going to make settlers, but I'm gonna plant my cities after National College. I didn't do extensive research yet, which one is better. I mean, the National College opening is pretty strong. I mean, plant cities after National College, but then again, having that very early city, you go to population 2 and you get the city, then you can build a library, and when you get the technology from National College, you actually can build National College right away, and you have 1 extra city that is already growing and building useful stuff. So I didn't do extensive research on that, which one is actually better or faster, but we shall see, to be honest. Okay. Pantheon. What shall I get as a Pantheon? I think I'll just get happiness, since we banned all the... Desert Fate would be awesome, of course, but we banned Desert Fate. The reason for that is those tile gain fates from tiles is very unbalanced, to be honest, because if someone has a lucky start, for example tundra start or a desert start like me, he can basically get religion at no costs. Absolutely no cost, and it's really hard to counter that. For example, if the same thing goes with +4 fate from wonders, you get +4 fate from wonders, and you just have like you pop a city on wonder and okay man, I got my religion now. You can do whatever you want, but I'm still getting my religion. Okay, so we're taking to philosophy. The one thing this build is actually missing is early wonders, and early wonders are pretty strong, especially, I mean, in single player. You don't really need that many wonders. I mean, like, they are okay-ish, but you don't really need them. In multiplayer, especially in a duel, it's a huge deal, because if you don't get it, enemy will get it. And a wonder, like every single wonder going to one player, it's going to be very hard, especially we are playing with natural wonder pack. So there's a lot of wonders that can give great engineering points, and one of the very good strategies is to go early wonders that get great engineering points. So you will get a great engineer when you hit a wonder like Chichen Itza or Notre Dame. So when you reach the tech, you get a great engineer from your earlier wonders, and you just pop a Chichen Itza or you pop a Notre Dame. Especially Chichen Itza is very strong with tradition openers, since it's very possible you're going to get extra happiness and a golden age, and 50% more on the golden age. That's good. That's just simply good. And as you can see, Tommy is already doing it. So he went settler first. He probably, I even don't know if he went library. Probably not. He'll just go pyramids for that extra workers, since tradition opener misses the worker from liberty, and it misses the extra speed, the 25% speed on worker on making improvements. So pyramids kind of offset that. We get pyramids, you get 2 workers right away, you get engineering point, and you get that 25% boost to improvement tile speed that you get from liberty. So you like you go tradition, but still you get that extra stuff from liberty. So it's very good. So already he's got 1 wonder with great engineering points, and I believe he's going to make another wonder with great engineering points, Stonehenge if I believe correctly, and then he'll probably go for National College. So he got 1 city earlier than me. He is gonna get 2 early wonders, pretty strong wonders, the religion wonder and the pyramids, and I'm kind of behind already. I'm at pop 5. Okay, I got a library, but doesn't mean that much, since he got 2 workers. If he got nice starting location, he can work, for example, luxuries faster. He can work tiles faster. He can already have a second city and work the second city already. So he's going to get that extra population, which will give him more science. Simple. That's why I'm just counting with the settler to see everything before I'm gonna plant those cities. So actually that second city, quick second city is very good. I mean, if someone, it's like, it's a risk. You never know if you don't scout a capital, especially on a map like this. You never know what your opponent is doing, so you have a choice. I mean, like, you cannot go all the way like population 2 and always I go a settler, population 2 I go a settler, and I don't grow. Because then if someone's just focused on one big city and has a great land, you can be in a disadvantage. But then again, like this, I'm in a little bit of a disadvantage at this moment of the game, which can of course be a little bit better later on, but it's always kind of hard to balance. So 5 turns to philosophy. I'm making my second settler, and I believe I'm just going to start on National College right away after the second settler. So he's 2 hammers ahead right now. It's not that much, but it absolutely tells me that he's got a second city already, which I don't like. The second part of this game is a commentary done by me while I'm playing. To be honest, I can see that while when I'm playing, I'm talking much less. When I'm adding the commentary after the game, I'm absolutely free to talk. I kind of see all the mistakes and all the stuff that I made wrong. But then again, on the other side, I would prefer to do commentary while I'm playing, because like civilization games take so much time. So basically, it's a bit easier just to make a commentary and then just upload it, then add the commentary, for example, to I cannot imagine like adding a 6-hour commentary to a free-for-all game. So I will upload more free-for-all games, but I need to have the time to actually play 6 hour. I mean, like those 6 hours when I can make a commentary while I'm playing. And I'm just trying to add. I have some games recorded already, but I just need to. It's like in parts. On some parts I have commentary while I'm playing, and on some parts I just need to add the commentary. So like this one, the first part is commented after like 2 days. No, we played it yesterday. Never mind. So he got a Stonehenge, as I said. So he's focusing on great engineering points. So I'm kinda almost 100% sure that he's just going to go for Chichen, and he's going to pop a great engineer to use it on Chichen Itza. So I'm not really worrying about that. Of course I'm gonna go to civil service, because civil service is great for traditional opening, and not only for traditional opening because of that extra food, but I'm definitely not going to try to rush anything. I'm just going to build up my economy, and I'm absolutely not going to take any risks. So I'm just waiting for that extra settler, and then I'm going to do National College. Since my city's in the back, like, it will take ages to move there. So this capital turns out not that bad. I mean, it's not great as usual. It's like another game where I have no horses. It's like, come on. I always go for animal husbandry because I really want to get those horses early on. I mean, at least see the horses early on. And most of the time when you multiplayer games, especially in duels, if you put strategic balance, then theoretically, and I mean theoretically, you should have a horse in your capital. And I'm like, oh my god, another game and I don't have a horse. Because if you go from pottery to animal husbandry and you check out horses, for example, you got 2 wheat resources and nothing more. Then you are working those weeds, then you make a granary, so you get 3 food from every weed, that's 6 food, and then you discover horses, for example on plains, and you got a great tile with 1 food to production. So that you still are growing, you get that extra food, but you have the production, especially it's good like with sheep and stuff like that. And it's in a very early tech that you can improve. If you go worker fast, you can really improve the sheep or cow or whatever you have much faster, and it's usually just better because it has food, so it allows you to grow a bit more than, for example, going mining. Okay, so we're going to make that 4th settler, and I'm gonna work on National College most probably. Yes, and I'm thinking about just going Temple of Artemis. It's a pretty strong wonder from the wonder pack, as it gives you a 50% growth no, I think 10% growth in your cities and 50% boost to production of range units. So to be honest, it's a great wonder. It's awesome wonder, and it gives you one great engineer point. Why it's awesome? Because most of the units since Gods and Kings are range units, like composites, range, crossbows, range, artillery, range, gatlings, range. So if you get that wonder, you actually have a boost in production comparable, for example, to Honor or a Forge, but it works in every city. So it's a great boost in production. Plus the cherry on the pie, the food is just great, especially when you go tradition. Every percentage to food is awesome. Is awesome. So I'm gonna try to speed up the National College. As you can see, he's already far ahead of me in population and hammers, and the reason for that is I'm not sure how he do the National College. Maybe he just skips it for later on. I'm not really sure. I don't think he did record this game. I would love to see a game from our duels where actually those close duels. The only duels he uploaded was that I lost miserably. I think one or two duels are on his channel. One when I lost to an ancient, I wouldn't say the rush, but just the ancient combat, and another one, I don't even remember the one, another one, but I'm sure he posted two duels where I lost, and he didn't post a duel like 20 games earlier that I actually won. A Rome duel, I believe. So I won one game for 20 games against Tommynt. It's not bad percentage. I'm like, what? It's 5%. Not bad. At least there's a lot of room to improve. So we get our national college. I get my golden age. Actually, it was not that great of an idea. I mean, golden age is cool, but golden age this early, it doesn't give you much. The downside is it's going to increase the population, not the population, the happiness cap on another golden age. So to be honest, it's not that great of an idea to get a golden age so early. So this is a downside of this strategy. Maybe if I had a little better capital, for example a hill and a bit more granary resources, then I could do those stuff a bit earlier, like 3 turns earlier or something like that, so I can actually plant my cities and cancel that extra happiness. So I will like leave the golden age for a bit. I will almost fill up the happiness bar for the golden age, but I will actually get it earlier. Or you could always not improve some luxuries or stuff like that, but it doesn't work that well, that much, since you gotta really micromanage that to actually make it work. So he got great library, so he's going to be a bit ahead in science. He can pop great lib for like many things at this moment. Probably just to go a little bit faster for Chechen and use that great engineer for Chechen, or maybe perhaps hard build it. I really don't count that much about the timings. I mean, if I'm not like making a note, okay, on turn 15 Tommy build Tommy built pyramids, so 15 turns later he's got already 15 more points, so he builds Stonehenge. Okay, so he's going to get a great engineer in like 15 turns. I don't count that, no, no, not really. Maybe I should, but does it even matter? If he's not going to, if he's getting a wonder, there's no really say if he used a great engineer or not. So if I try to get a wonder, then I just try to build it. So I want to make my workers. The number of workers you really need is at least 1 per city, especially if you don't have pyramids or liberty. 1 worker per city is a must, and preferably extra worker that can use later on for roads, so you don't have to take away a worker from improving tiles around the city, so you can just make roads, especially if it's a long road like here. It's going to be 4 tiles roads, 4 tiles roads. My roads is gonna take 4 tiles at least, so I'm not gonna put them until my city's growth to at least pop 4. If I remember correctly, you get 1 gold per population from a trade route, and some extra gold from the if your capital is bigger than the other cities, you get some. I don't remember the exact mathematics, but a rule of thumb is, if you want your road to know, if you do not want to pay for your road, your city that you connect to has to have the exact population as the road tiles you used. So for population 3, you can make a trade route with 3 roads, something like that. Of course, if I remember that correct. So for a second there, I'm ahead in production, since I got 4 cities right now, but I'm not ahead much, but it's always something to start. To start with, the problem is the science and the population. He has advantage in population and he has advantage in the science, which will be pretty painful the more the game will last, to put it simple. Because like in continents, science really matters, because always science really matters, but on continents is very crucial, because you want to get to frigates as fast as you can if you go coastal cities, because frigates are, what can I say, they are such a powerful unit. They have so much combat strength and range strength. It really is hard to defend against frigates if you, for example, has crossbows only. I mean, or galleas. If you got galleas, you're basically, you don't have anything to look at, because maybe not the combat strength, since galleas is almost exact as crossbow, but the problem in movement, galleas just loses on water big time. Since frigate can run away and make hit and run tactics from oceans, so basically galleas versus frigate, you're dead. You can probably try to defend with crossbows on land, but it's hard as well, since the discrepancy in combat strength is very large. So you really want frigates, and you want them fast. You preferably want gold, then you want galleas build up, so when you hit frigates, you just improve. So somewhere in between you need to sneak iron, because there's no iron, no frigates. Simple. So this is just the way it works. So we're already behind in every category, so it's starting to be pretty hard, but hopefully we'll manage to survive and make it work. So I have my 5th settler. It's going to be the last settler that I'm going to plant, and I'm definitely going to plant in marble. As I said earlier, I want to have that ability to move the ships faster from my capital to the north, and the other way around if the attack will come from south or something like that. I really want to cut that continent in half and make a route for my ships to move from south to north. At least that's the general idea. Okay, when I'm not commenting the game on while I'm playing, I have a tendency not to put the F9 screen for a bit longer. So even now when I'm connecting, it's hard for me to check it out. You can pause the video while I'm making a comment. It's actually hard for me to pause every single time and read it and then commented. That's why I kind of miss on those score screens. I hope you guys don't mind that, and you can pause always the video and check it if you really want to see the numbers. Overall, I'm behind in basically everything at the moment, and especially the population is hard because population gives science. Most importantly, it gives science, not especially hammers, but the science, and it's a problem because every point of science adds up eventually. Every turn goes, it's like who has the more science, it's getting faster techs, all in all, it's all adds up in the end. So I'm just waiting with planting this city. I'm waiting. Why I'm waiting? I'm not waiting because I don't have marble yet. So this city is not that great, but I can work the sheep, I can work the horse, and I can work 2 lumber mills, so it's not that bad production city for at least population 4, and later on we can grow with those grassland and fish resource, so that's not that bad. What am I doing? Why do I want to scout? I know why I want to scout. Okay, so I was kinda I want to go for Petra, and I was trying to get a hammer overflow, which will sadly not work if I remember correctly, because you saw I had a scout 1 turn, and now I wanted to go to that scout, and suddenly his 2 turns. So I kinda lost the hammers somewhere. They probably decayed from the earlier military unit, so I won't make no hammer overflow at all for Petra, and I really want Petra in this city, because it's going to, without the Petra, this city is not bad, but with Petra it's going to be great. There we go, Petra, mister. I'm actually going to finish the worker, since I'm gonna get that little hammer overflow from the worker itself, and I'm going to chop all the forests. So I really want to finish that worker, because later on I will probably not have a chance to make another worker in my capital, so the sooner the better. The sooner the better. Yeah, so second hammer, second in science, and second in population. Actually by a lot, if the numbers are correct. So the hammer overflow didn't work as I intended. It's still 11 turns. I was really hoping it's going to be 10 turns, but 11 turns, not bad. Well, Petra is kind of a very specific wonder. I mean, in duels, when you actually don't see the land, you really don't know if you have to rush it. But like my sense tells me, I think you should chop those forests and try to make it as fast as possible, because there's always a possibility that he has only like 1 desert tile somewhere, and he actually don't need Petra, but he's just going to make Petra for the sake of having a Petra and denying it from the opponent and having that extra great engineer point, and that extra free the Petra gives like mosque I think, mosque, so it's good to rush. I wonder that you really need. So I was saving those forests to chop for exactly this occasion, and if I believe correctly, I'm just going to buy a hill, so when my city will grow, it's going to go to a hill, another hill, for that extra production. Hopefully we'll get it. Oh, I just noticed the comment. I truly don't know what you're doing. Well, I was doing a national college before settling more cities. Yeah, that was I was doing. Is it going to work? Is it better? I don't know. To be honest, I guess it's pretty map dependent. I think my starting location was not the best location to actually go such a strategy, but then again, I didn't have that much hammers. I would like to have to buy 2 hills to actually go for a settler first. So it's hard to tell which one is better, to be honest. I'm first in production for a change in GNP, and I'm 2% behind in technology. So it's not that bad, but it's not good either. It's not good either at all. So we got our self-construction. I'm just getting those texts. I mean, construction, most of the times in games like this, you want to delay construction a bit, but here I'm not going to make any archers for upgrades, and I just want to start working on those colosseums pretty quickly, because I'm going to be happiness starved. Though I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 luxuries, and I got 5 cities. But the luxuries are going to get me to population 4 at most. So without colosseums, I will not be able to grow. And I'm pretty sure that he is going for Chichen Itza. Why I'm sure? Well, that's pretty simple. He got 2 wonders with great engineer points. So he is going to get a great engineer around the time when he's going to reach civil service. So it's like 100% sure that he's going to want to snatch Chichen Itza. And it's almost 100% sure, I'm going to repeat myself, that he's going civil service, because tradition opener is needs food. Especially in your capital, and civil service gives that pretty quickly. I will be happy for civil service as well, especially in my capital. I mean, when you look at this city without Petra, you're thinking like, this is not, there's no food here. But if you think about it, like with civil service and with Petra, you are thinking like, that wheat is going to give you +5 food, a hammer, or even more food, and a gold. Every single desert tile around that lake is going to give you +3 food, +1 hammer, +1 gold. So actually it's going to act like a river. So my capital is going to have its own river around a lake with a desert. So Petra is very strong wonder. Of course it's situational, but it's crazy wonder when you have a desert. So it's pretty strong for a desert. Yeah, he entered medieval era right now, and look what's going to happen next turn, if I remember this correctly. Let's wait those 10 seconds, and come on, come on, come on. Ta-da! Nothing happened. Alright, so it's going to happen the next turn. Oh my goodness. What a fail. Alright. So he entered medieval era last turn. And this turn it's going to happen, right? Come on, Yoruus. Or people's gonna think you're crazy. You played this game and you even don't remember when Tommy built Chichen Itza. Come on. Oh, and we're waiting for Petra, one turn. So when are we going to get Petra? And is Tommy going to get Chichen Itza? And the answer is I'm going to get Petra. So I guess he mistimed. He missed the timing by a couple of turns with the Great Engineer. But I'm pretty sure he's going to use a Great Engineer for Chichen Itza. I'm almost sure he got it before I got the actual tech, and he got it like 2 turns ago. So there's no way he can build a Chichen Itza in like 4 or 5 turns. No way. So we got our Petra. So our capital turned out from mediocre capital to a very good capital, especially with those 2 desert hills. So we like it. We like it, and we like it a lot. I'm going to go for Temple of Artemis. The reason for that, it got engineering points, and I really want that extra growth later on so I can catch up to his population. So that 10% is going to help me, and of course the range production is always good. You see, it's even not improved, and it's already 3 food, 1 hammer, 1 gold. 3 turns already passed, and he finished Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. So perhaps he was just making a wonder, and he basically knew that he doesn't have to rush anything since I didn't get to medieval yet. So he finished the wonder, and now he's just going to put the Q on Chichen, and he's most probably going to use a Great Engineer for it. At least I'm guessing this is going to happen, because I'm almost pretty sure he got it before I got the tech. And like 3 turns passed, and I don't believe you can make a Chichen in like 4 or 5 turns. Yeah, so I'm trying to micromanage my cities to not fall into negative happiness, so I can grow. Yeah, there we go, Chichen. So 4 turns after researching. So what he did is probably he finished the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus in his capital, because maybe he thought I could get it as well. I was building that as well, so it was kind of illogical to finish Mausoleum of Halicarnassus first and then just use a Great Engineer for Chichen. So I'm betting all my money he used the Great Engineer on Chichen. Like, no way he's got such a crazy capital that he already is like 4 turns spamming wonders from medieval era. I hope so. I really hope so. Alright, so we finally entered medieval era as well. And we are finishing tradition. Next tree I'm gonna go for is commerce. I really want to get that extra movement, and I want to get extra hammers later on, since I got every one each of my cities um, is actually on coast, so that extra hammers from commerce really is great. It's like 15 hammers for nothing. And especially if later on I would like to fit in some more cities, since I left some space on purpose to plant another at least 2 or 3 cities, and they all can be coastal cities. So with that commerce, it's actually great because they will have like 4 hammers at start just for being a coastal city. And if I maybe later on manage to finish Liberty, those coastal cities going to be like 5 hammers per city. So it's really strong social policy. And if you plan on a hill, it's going to like 2, 3 plus 3, 6 hammers per city. So I'm actually first in hammers, but as I said, I'm 2% behind in tech, which I really don't like. So what I'm thinking right now is I really need to get to iron. I mean, I really need to get to universities first, and then I really need to get to iron, and I really need to get to frigates as fast as I can. I'm a little bit afraid that we are actually, since this continent looks like it's very wide, so if his continent is wide as well, I'm a little afraid that actually we can connect our cities by the coast tiles. So with optics I should be afraid about melee units. So I'm trying to check the army screen, the F9 screen, and the army points pretty often, so I have a chance to see where he's starting to make units. And I believe I will have built some triremes just to scout, to be sure that he's not connected to me by the coast tiles. And even more, if I remember correctly, I will not like what I see. But let's not spoil anything yet. First in hammers, this is good, but not by much. And he's got copper. This is kind of cool when you see something like this, that for the King's Day you need a resource like, for example, copper, and you actually don't see copper on your land, then you know there's copper on the map somewhere. So this is kind of a good information. You can deduce pretty much a lot of things from the King's Day. Maybe it's not that important in multiplayer games, I mean the large multiplayer games, but in a duel it's pretty okay-ish, because you kinda... Now I'm thinking like, okay, we can always try to scout a bit and try to find maybe an island with copper, so we're gonna get that extra luxury to plant another city. And all thanks to the demand from one of my cities that it wants copper. As you can see, I'm trying to micromanage my cities, so all the time I'm not at negative happiness. Excuse me. So my cities can still fill up the food bar. So when I actually get the happiness, I'm just gonna switch off the avoid growth, and I'm gonna grow my cities like this one. I'm gonna grow my cities one by one for that extra population. I mean, it demands a bit of micromanagement, but like micromanaging 5 cities is not that bad. If you want to micromanage like a wide empire with 10 cities, it's starting to get a bit tricky, and you can miss something somewhere. For example, you were like waiting for, oh, I'm gonna get to happiness next turn, so let's grow 2 cities, and then suddenly, or you get that finally you're at 0 happiness and you want to grow, for example, like 5 cities, so you get into negative 5 happiness, and then you forget to put off the avoid growth from one of your cities, and you're like, oh my god, come on, or 2 cities or even more. So
it demands a bit of micromanagement. When you actually fight, it's sometimes getting hard to do it, and it's easy to miss something. But like in 5 cities, when you actually don't have to war and control the war, it's not bad, and it's worth to do it. Okay, so this is basically what's up. I'm trying to get my infrastructure in all my cities, all those necessary buildings like granaries, water mills, coliseums, and later on universities, and hopefully workshops. I saw I queue up the tech for workshops, so I'm hoping I will get workshops before the actual fight will commence, and in my capital can now focus on some units or some crazy shenanigan stuff. For example, like Wonders. Since he already got his religion, I don't really want to put hammers into things like temples. And oh, this is a mistake, what I just did. Mm, I really don't have. I bought a Colosseum. Well, probably the reasoning for that was that I want to grow, and I want to get Hagia Sophia. He got his religion, and I don't really want to spend hammers into building temples and shrines to get my religion. And I think I noticed my left cities are already on pressure from his religion, so I just want to get that extra happiness to grow. But losing 400 gold, it's going to be painful later on when I want to upgrade galleass to frigates. It's 400 gold less on upgrade. It's 3 frigates. 3 frigates less of an upgrade, which can be a huge deal later on. Since I don't have a crazy amount of gold, I'm actually a very low gold plus gold, so it's problematic when you do a continent map, a water map. When you are going to upgrade galleass to frigates, you really want gold. You really want gold. All right. I guess this ends the part 1. I see the movie is about to end. So thank you for watching, and see you all in part 2 of this game.